Hello students, this is Mrs. Sonal Patil. We have already completed the third chapter. Today we will study the fourth chapter, that is Reproductive Health. The weightage for this chapter is 5 marks. So 5 marks questions may be asked from this particular chapter, which may be of 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark or 5 mark question may be asked from this particular chapter. To begin with, when compared to other mammals, nature has posed several challenges to human reproduction. Challenges in the form of prolonged childhood, need for intense parental care, delayed puberty, complicated process of childbirth, and now ever increasing cases of infertility. In spite of this, the rate of increase of human population is phenomenal. This has led to over exploitation of resources, so much so that it is threatening our very own existence. Thus, population control has become obligatory at the individual as well as at global level. This has enabled humans to intervene in their own reproduction by understanding the reproductive physiology and drawing strategic plans towards effective family planning through improved medical technology. In this chapter, we will be discussing the need for fertility control, its method, and related aspects. The term reproductive health simply refers to healthy reproductive organs with normal functions. However, it has a broader perspective and includes the emotional and social aspects of reproduction also. According to World Health Organization, reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical, emotional, behavioral, and social. Therefore, a society with people having physical and functionally normal reproductive organs and normal emotional and behavioral interactions among them in all sex related aspects might be called reproductively healthy. To begin with, we will study first about reproductive health problems and strategies. World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Reproductive health therefore implies that people are able to have responsible, satisfying, and safe sex life, and that they have the capability to reproduce and the freedom to decide if, when, and how often to do so. It also implies that it is the right to access appropriate health care services that will enable women to go safely through pregnancy and childbirth and provide couples with the best chance of having a healthy infant. India was amongst the first countries in the world to initiate action plans and programs at the national level to attain total reproductive health as a social goal. These programs, called family planning, were initiated in 1951 and were periodically assessed over the past decades. Improved programs covering wider reproductive health related areas are currently in operation under the popular name Reproductive and Child Health Care Programs. Creating awareness among people about various reproduction related aspects and providing facilities and support for building up a reproductively healthy society are the major tasks under these programs. So the major task under these programs are nothing but they are creating the awareness among the people about various reproductive or the reproduction related aspects, and facilities are being provided. So these are the major tasks of those programs. With the help of audiovisual and the print media, governmental and non-governmental agencies have taken various steps to create awareness among the people about reproduction related aspects. So there have been countless problems in India being the second largest populated country in the world with the estimated 1 billion people. The phenomenal growth has exerted increasing pressure on limited resources of the country. This in turn exerts immense pressure on the basic necessities like education, health, housing, clothing, employment opportunities, etc. Parents, other close relatives, teachers, and friends also have a major role in the dissemination of the above information. Introduction of sex education in the schools should be encouraged to provide right information to the young so as to discourage children from believing in myths and having misconceptions about sex related aspects. Proper information about reproductive organs, adolescence, and related changes, safe and hygienic sexual practices, sexually transmitted diseases that is STD, AIDS, etc., would help people, especially those in the adolescent age group, to lead a reproductively healthy life. So these are the major, so these are the strategies which are the strategies of the reproductive health. Even educating people, especially fertile couples and those in the marriageable age group, about available birth control options, care of pregnant mothers, postnatal care of the mother and child, importance of breastfeeding, equal opportunities for the male and the female child, etc., would address the importance of bringing up socially conscious, healthy families of desired size. So, educating people of marriageable age group is very, very important. Again, it is also an important strategy. Awareness of problems due to uncontrolled population growth, social evils like sex abuse and sex related crimes, etc., need to be created to enable people to think and take up necessary steps to prevent them and thereby build up a socially responsible and healthy society. Successful implementation of various action plans to attend reproductive health requires strong infrastructural facilities, professional expertise, and material support. These are essential to provide medical assistance and care to people in reproduction related problems like pregnancy, delivery, STDs, abortions, contraception, menstrual problems, infertility, etc. Implementation of better techniques and new strategies from time to time are also required to provide more efficient care and assistance to people. Statutory ban on amniocentesis, it is nothing but it is a fetal sex determination test based on chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid surrounding the developing embryo. So there is amniotic fluid surrounding the developing embryo, and here in this particular method what is done is that it is nothing but it is a fetal sex determination test way which is based on the chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid. So amniocentesis is being banned for sex determination to legally check increasing female foeticide, massive child immunization, etc. are some programs that merit mention in this connection. So amniocentesis, remember, this question may be asked for 1 mark. Even these problems and strategies are being asked. Research on various reproduction related areas are encouraged and supported by governmental and non-governmental agencies to find out new methods and or to improve upon the existing ones. Saheli, a new oral contraceptive for the females, was developed by scientists at Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow, India. Better awareness about sex related matters, increased number of medically assisted deliveries, and better postnatal care leading to decreased maternal and infant mortality rates, increased number of couples with small families, better detection and cure of STDs, and overall increased medical facilities for all sex related problems, etc., all indicate improved reproductive health of the society. Those were the reproductive health with the problems and the strategies. Coming to the next is population explosion and birth control. In the last century, an all round development in various fields significantly improved the quality of life of the people. However, increased health facilities along with better living conditions had an explosive impact on the growth of population. The world population was around 2 billion in 1900, rocketed to about 6 billions by 2000. A similar trend was observed in India too. Our population was which was approximately 350 million at the time of our independence, reached close to the billion marked by 2000 and crossed 1 billion in May 2000. That means every sixth person in the world is an Indian. So here population explosion is nothing but the number of people alive today is greater than the total number who have ever lived and died before us. The term population means the total number of individuals of a species living in a particular area at the particular time. When there is rapid increase of population over a relatively short period, it is called population explosion. The scientific study of human population is called demography. So that is about the population explosion. Through our RCH programs, though we could bring out the population growth rate, it was only marginal. According to the 2001 census report, the population growth rate was still around 1.7%, that is 17 per thousand per year, a rate at which our population could double in 33 years. Such an alarming growth rate could lead to an absolute scarcity of even the basic requirements, that is food, shelter and clothing, in spite of significant progress made in those areas. Therefore, the government was forced to take up serious measures to check this population growth rate. The most important step to overcome this problem is to motivate smaller families by using various contraceptive methods. Advertisements in the media as well as on posters or bills, etc., show a happy couple with two children with the slogan "Hum do, hamare do." So these are the advertisements which are being made in the media, as well as posters and all the bills are being on which you can see the slogan, this particular slogan, so that it is nothing but to control the population. These steps are being taken. Many couples, mostly the young urban working ones, have even adopted the an one child norm. Statutory rising of marriageable age of the female to 18 years and that of the males to 21 years. And the incentives given to couples with small families are two of the other measures taken to tackle this problem. So these were the problems, or they were the population. It was nothing but about the population explosion. Coming to the next is we are going to study about the contraceptive methods or the birth control measures. Methods. Contraception, it is nothing but it is a voluntary or deliberate prevention of pregnancy after sexual activity. The 20th century has seen a revolution in family planning. People can regulate the number and spacing of their children between successive births by using effective methods of contraception now available. Hence, family planning methods are also called spacing methods. Contraception works in one or three ways, namely preventing contact between ovum and sperm, preventing fertilization, or preventing the embryo from implanting into the uterus. So, contraceptive methods, these are the methods that help to prevent the unwanted pregnancies. An ideal contraceptive should be user friendly, easily available, effective, and reversible with no or least side effects. It also should in no way interfere with the sexual drive, desire, or and the sexual act of the user. A wide range of contraceptive methods are presently available, which could be broadly grouped into the following categories, namely: first, natural or traditional method; secondly, barrier methods; then IUDs, oral contraceptives, injectables, implants, and surgical methods. We'll study one by one. Come to the natural methods. Here, the principle is to prevent contact between ovum and sperm, thereby preventing fertilization and conception. It includes periodic abstinence and lactational amenorrhea. Periodic abstinence is one such method in which the couples avoid from coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle, when ovulation could be expected. As chances of fertilization are very high during this period, it is called fertile period. Therefore, by abstaining from coitus during this period, conception could be prevented. Withdrawal or coitus interruptus is another method in which the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. So that is coitus interruptus. Whereas periodic abstinence is nothing but here in the couples will avoid coitus from the day of 10 to 17, which is a fertile period. So that is periodic abstinence, and then that was coitus interruptus. Lactational amenorrhea method is based on the fact that ovulation and therefore the cycle do not occur during the period of intense lactation following parturition. Therefore, as long as mother breastfeeds the child fully, chances of conception are almost nil. However, this method has been reported to be effective only up to a maximum period of 6 months following parturition. As no medicines or devices are used in these methods, side effects are almost nil. Chances of failure, though, of this method are also high. So that is about the lactational amenorrhea. So it is nothing but it is a natural method based on the fact that breastfeeding in the woman suppresses ovulation and the fertility in the early months of the delivery. But this is again nothing but it is operational only up to 6 months and is not effective once her menstruation or the menstrual cycle return. So these were the natural methods. Barrier methods. In this method, ovum and sperms are prevented from physically meeting with the help of barriers. Such methods are available for both males and females. Condoms are barriers made up of thin rubber or latex sheath that are used to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in the female just before coitus, so that the ejaculated semen could not enter into the female reproductive tract. This can prevent conception. Nirod is a popular brand of condom for the male. Use of condoms has increased in recent years due to its additional benefit of protecting the user from contracting STDs and AIDS. Both the male and the female condoms are disposable, can be self inserted, and thereby gives privacy to the user. Secondly, diaphragms, cervical caps, and walls are also barrier methods. They are nothing but they are the barriers made up of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus. They prevent conception by blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix. They are reusable. Thirdly, spermicidal creams, jellies, and foams are used usually along with these barriers to increase their contraceptive efficiency. So these were the barrier methods and those were the natural methods. Remember, these are again important questions from exam point of view. Nextly, very very important question again to be asked in the exam, intrauterine devices. This is another effective and popular method. These devices are inserted by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through vagina. These intrauterine devices are presently available as the non-medicated IUDs, copper releasing IUDs, and the hormone releasing IUDs. Remember, this question may be asked in the exam. Many a times has been asked. What are IUDs and give example. So non-medicated IUDs, example Lippi's loop, copper releasing IUDs CUT, CU7, multilode 375, and the hormone releasing IUDs are progestasert, LNG 20. So please remember the examples may be asked in the exam. IUDs increase the phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus, and the copper ions released suppress sperm motility and the fertilizing capacity of sperms. The hormone releasing IUDs in addition make the uterus unsuitable for implantation and the cervix hostile to the sperms. IUDs are ideal contraceptives for the female who want to delay pregnancy and or space children. It is one of the most widely accepted methods of contraception in India. So intrauterine devices are inserted by the doctors or the expert nurses in the uterus through the vagina. Those are called as intrauterine devices. Please remember the examples and about these IUDs. Oral administration of small doses of either progestogens or progestrogen-estrogen combination is another contraceptive method used by the females. They are used in the form of tablets and hence are popularly called the pills. Pills have to be taken daily for a period of 21 days, starting preferably within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle. After a gap of 7 days, it has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desires to prevent conception. They inhibit ovulation and implantation as well as alter the quality of cervical mucus to prevent or retard entry of sperms. Pills are very effective with lesser side effects and are well accepted by females. Saheli, the new oral contraceptive for the females, contains a non-steroidal preparation. It is a once a week pill with a very few side effects and high contraceptive value. Progestogens alone or in combination with estrogen can also be used by females as injections or implants under the skin. Their mode of action is similar to that of pills and their effective periods are much longer. Administration of progestogens or progestrogen estrogen combination or IUDs within 72 hours of coitus have been found to be very effective as emergency contraceptives, as they could be used to avoid possible pregnancy due to rape or casual unprotected intercourse. Injections and implants, they are a type of hormonal contraception where progestogen, a hormone similar to progesterone, is released steadily into the woman's bloodstream. In injections, it is injected subcutaneously, while in implants, it is placed under the skin. So those were about the injections and the implants. Lastly, the surgical methods are also called as sterilization, They're the permanent methods, birth control measure. They're the permanent birth control methods. These are generally advised for the male or female partner as a terminal method to prevent any more pregnancies. Surgical intervention blocks gamete transport and thereby prevent conception. It includes tubectomy and vasectomy. Sterilization procedure in male is called vasectomy and that in the female is called tubectomy. In vasectomy, a small part of vas deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision in the scrotum, whereas in tubectomy, a small part of the fallopian tube is removed or tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or through vagina. Very, very important questions are these. Vasectomy and tubectomy are asked many a times. So these are the permanent methods of birth control measures, so methods. So please remember about these. These techniques are highly effective, but their reversibility is very poor. It needs to be emphasized that the selection of suitable contraceptive method and its use should always be undertaken in consultation with qualified medical professionals. One must also remember that contraceptives are not regular requirements for the maintenance of reproductive health. In fact, they are practiced against a natural reproductive event, that is, conception or pregnancy. One is forced to use these methods either to prevent pregnancy or to delay or space pregnancy due to personal reasons. No doubt, the widespread use of these methods have a significant role in checking uncontrolled growth of population. However, their possible ill effects like nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, irregular menstrual bleeding, or even breast cancer, though not very significant, should not be totally ignored. So these were we have studied about the reproductive health strategies, problems in the strategies. Further, we have studied about the population explosion and birth control measures. We have seen the natural, we have studied about the natural methods, barrier methods. Then we have studied about the intrauterine devices, permanent methods, surgical methods. We have stopped over there. So for today's class, we'll stop here, and in the next class, we will begin with the next part of the chapter. Thank you.